Welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. So I think I fully recovered from the open house. It's been a week, actually a rough week at work too. So I've been a little bit quiet on the internet. So anyway, I'm back, and we are working on a meatloaf episode here for all those hungry oxen out there. This is number 81. I skipped one because I just had to. This one, we'll talk a little bit about the Rendezvous. A bunch of fellow YouTube creators showed up. We had a lot of visitors in the shop. Some of you have seen some footage on Randy Richards' channel and Stan Zinkowski's channel. And there's some links up there for you if you want to go check those out. They shot a little bit of video footage. Unfortunately, I was indisposed for most of the weekend and wasn't able to shoot any video myself of the event, so I had to rely on Stan and Randy for some little bit of video footage that they shot. So anyway, it was a great success. A lot of folks showed up, and I met some really nice people. A bunch of folks brought stuff, and I'm going to apologize right up front. I did not write these names down on some of these gifts that they left, and I apologize ahead of time for that, because I'm a bozo. I should have taken a Sharpie and written right on the thing, but I got sidetracked, and I apologize. So we're going to show some of those things. Got some viewer mail that came in, and we got a whole new shop layout, the new background here that I'm working on. So I'll probably be honing that a little bit coming up. A couple of new tools. I bought something from a guy in Texas that's kind of cool, a fellow craftsman, that this is kind of a nice piece, and we'll check those out. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first one here, this one arrived, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago, and this comes to us from Canada, and this is Chris Dexter, and he says, I guess I got sucked into your hammer building vortex. I never intended for that to happen, but I was fascinated and inspired by the copper-ended hammer. Anyway, so Chris got busy, and he built a little hammer here, and it has copper faces. Hopefully you can see that. It's got a copper peen end on it, and the head's aluminum, and the handle is black walnut, Canadian black walnut. And Chris, he was on to all the details. I happen to like octagonal handles, and so this one has an octagonal handle here, so you get an idea of scale here. So that's 150 millimeters or 6 inches there, so you kind of get an idea for size. It's beautiful. You can see you put a wedge in at an angle. That's great, and it's got these copper faces, so that'll go into the hammer collection. Chris, thank you very much. That's a really nice gift. There's just nothing better than getting a handmade gift from somebody that appreciates what you're doing. So thank you very much. Okay, so this next one here comes to us from Canada as well, and this is Remy Simral, and he and I talked on email a little bit, and his dad had a toolbox that's been sitting in the garage or whatever, and he was poking around in it, and he found a couple of things he thought I might like. So let's check them out. This one this kind of goes without explanation. It's a little hammer. It's a cute little guy. Let's get an idea of scale on that one too. So, but this one's for breaking up toffee. I guess it comes in sheets, and so you can break it up into bite-sized pieces or whatever. So anyway, that's a cool little hammer there. It's I don't know, do I have a magnet handy? Yeah, I guess I do. Right here. Oh yeah. Okay, so it's steel that's nickel plated or something like that. So kind of cool. That's neat. That'll go in the hammer collection. Thanks, Remy. That's great. And then this guy, this is pretty interesting here. And if you haven't seen one of these, this is just a very clever little instrument here. Let's open it up. And it's called a planimeter. And then, you know, if we have enough time, maybe we'll try to do a demo with it because it's kind of interesting. And it's they're not used that much anymore because of electronic mapping and the ability for computers to calculate strange areas and whatnot pretty easily. But this is used to measure area on maps typically. Where you have kind of an odd shape, you know, and you can trace around the perimeter of that shape, and you can actually calculate the area of that directly. And then it's got some little charts here for different map scales and different units. So now, I was looking at it here, and there's a piece missing from this. So Remy, if you're watching this, go back in that toolbox and look around, because what should be there should be and in this case it looks like it's round, it's a little magnifier. And it'll probably be black, and it'll be a magnifier, but it'll have a little dot in the center, or it'll have a little crosshairs or something like that, and that's what you track along the perimeter of the shape, and it attaches to this arm here. This was probably a screwdriver here, and then not sure what that was there, but it's missing the little magnifier. Now, the magnifier is probably handy for something else, so I could see somebody borrowing that to, you know, take splinters out or do something like that. But this is the little arm here, and you stick this in the map, and then that actually fits into this little socket here. So maybe I'll set up a little demo with this, because it's kind of cool how this works, and some smart old guy back in the dawn of time worked this out, how this works here. So basically it's a rolling integration is what it is to measure an area, so it's pretty cool. So Remy, hey, thanks, that's pretty neat. It's got the oil and instrument smell to it, so pretty cool here. So thank you very much. That's a fun little thing. Okay, so this is one of the oxen that showed up at the open house. Brought this by here, and it's a monster tool bit. And you know, I met so many people on over the weekend on the open house, and you know, I can't remember the gentleman's name that gave me this, but I do appreciate it, and I should have wrote his name on here on Sharpie or something. He just kind of handed it to me and said, "Oh, here's something for you," and then I set it down and, you know, kind of lost track of him. So I apologize for that. And but here's a giant Momax tool bit that he gave me. So I guess this didn't work in his 9-inch South Bend. So he dropped it on me. I said, well, this is more like an A-bomb tool here, maybe his big pacemaker or something like that. But it's 1.25 inches. And you can see it's a pretty hefty thing. It'll make, you know, it's nice to have hard blocks and things that are on size. So this will make a great parallel or something like that. So I don't think I'll grind that into a tool bit, because that could take you a while to grind a meaningful tool bit out of that. But anyway, once again, sorry I had forgotten your name, and but I really appreciate the gift, and thank you very much. So, okay, so here's the next one here. So this one could almost be like a little mystery tool, and this is made by Snap-on, and I don't know how well you guys can see that. It's kind of dark, but it's got a little. It looks like one of those little zit poppers that you see in the the drugstore. But that's not what it's for. It's made out of spring steel. It's made by Snap-on. Got a size on here, 1/4 inch, and then 3/8 on this side. And you can see those ends are a little bit different size there. If anybody knows what that is, you might chime in. And He told me what it was, and but I'll let you guys guess at that a little bit too. So now, once again, this is one of the guys that I met over the weekend. Don't remember the name. They didn't leave a little note with it or anything like that. So I'm at a loss as to who left that for me. And the same, there was two guys together. I do remember that, and I talked to them a bit, and they also left this, which is a little OTC pick set here. It's an O-ring seal snagger here, so you can reach in there and pluck O-rings out. It's a nice little set. Got a steel handle and spring steel little grabbers. So this is and that one's cool. It's a little hook shape, but it's flattened. It's ground flat, so you can get into things and pull O-rings out. So this is actually a nice little set. I like that. And so guys, once again, I just have to keep apologizing here because I got about 3 or 4 things here that I just missed the name. I didn't write it on the thing, and I'm a bozo for that, so I apologize. So anyway, OTC O-ring pick set, very cool. All right, thank you. Okay, so what meatloaf wouldn't be perfect without another hammer? And so this is on Sunday, I think a group came through. And there was 3 folks together, and they found out about me through a mutual friend, Alexis, and they came out and hung out in the shop for a little while, and we chatted a bit. And I am just absolutely terrible with names, but he pulled a hammer out of a bag and said, "Oh, this is for you." So anyway, I got a nice ball peen hammer. This is a pretty good sized one here, and it's got a very thin neck, which is kind of nice. I just like I am a fan of the thin neck here. And this one's kind of interesting that it has these rings on it on both sides here, and it's kind of a nice stylistic touch here. And it's not branded, so it's possible that it's I don't know, maybe it might be handmade. Don't know. This is flattened out more than you see typically. So I don't know. I don't know if this is hand forged or if it's a commercial hammer or what, but it's got a lovely patina on it. I wouldn't clean this one. It just looks really good the way it is there. So Alexis, tell me who these folks were that came out. I can't remember their names, and I'm a bozo for not writing it down. And it's been a week now, so I'm a moron. So anyway, thank you very much. It's a really nice gift, and I appreciate it. Okay, so this next one here is some material that somebody sent me. This is from Andrew Prestridge, and he's in Southern California, and he sent me a little care package of material here. Now this one's aluminum. Feels a little light for aluminum, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do a spark test on that. I don't think that's magnesium, but I think it's aluminum. And we'll do maybe a little machining on that. We can see. Now these are interesting. These are all 17.4 stainless here, and these you can see the characteristic heat treat. This is what they call, I think you can read that, H900 conditions. So this is where they soak this material at 900 degrees for a period of time, and the structure changes through precipitation, and it gets harder. So these are probably Rockwell 40 and something in that region is my guess. So this material is very, very strong when it's in the heat treated condition. Now, these are also heat treated here, but it looks like they ground them after the fact. And it's machinable in the heat treated condition, which is kind of neat, a neat aspect of this material. So it's corrosion resistant, like similar to 304 in most environments, but it is much, much stronger. So this is one of my favorite materials because it's really versatile. You can weld it, you can heat treat it, you can machine it when it's heat treated. It's very strong, and the only downside to it is magnetic. So so if you need non-magnetic qualities, this is not your material. So anyway, Andrew, thank you very much. That's great. Andrew's got a little shop down in Southern California. He works on motorcycles and rebuilds machines and does all kinds of stuff. So he and I have struck up a conversation via email. So Andrew, thank you very much. Okay, so this next one comes to us from Wisconsin, and this is Joseph Wiesler, and it's a big chunk of 17.4. It's funny, I just showed some 17.4, and here's another piece. So when it rains, it pours, I guess. So this stuff this week fell out of the sky into my lap here. So it's a nice chunk of 17.4 stainless. It's it's 21 inches long, or it's 540 millimeters long. So, and what is this? Inch and a half? Yeah, it's inch and a half. Okay, it's like 40 millimeter bar, and it's a nice chunk. I haven't measured it yet to see if it's precision, but it looks like it was a shaft out of something that needed to be pretty strong. So that'll go in my little stainless inventory and get used for something else. So Joseph, thank you very much. That's great, great little care package there. Thank you, sir. Okay, so this next one here, comes to us from a fan, another Canadian. This is Les Foster. And Les and I have been talking on email a little bit, and he managed to drop by for the open house. Open this thing. God. Open this thing up here. Are they making plastic tougher these days? I don't know. Gosh. Okay, so we got a couple of arbors here, and then the other one is this guy here, which is a face mill with an integral shank here. And so Les said, hey, I bought these, I can't use them. Take what you want, and then send one to another YouTube creator. So that's what's going to happen here. I don't have one of these, so I think I bought some inserts for this because I want to test drive this, and it's kind of an interesting geometry here. It's got an angle to it. So I bought some inserts, and they're on the way. So we're gonna test drive this. And this is made by fumble fingers there. This is Glasern Machine Tools, and they have a little website there. You can go check them out. So this is last some very nice gifts. Thank you very much. And so let's see what we got. So those are both 1-inch arbors there, 25 millimeter arbors. So I can't remember why Les couldn't use these. Yeah, those are both 1-inch, and it looks like the key size is the same too. It's just got a different body diameter. So these take these shell mills, and then they screw on. So you can have a large diameter cutter similar to that, but this one appeals to me because it's integral, so it's more stable naturally, and so I kind of want to test drive that because I'm always looking for good face mills for difficult materials and things like that. So we're gonna test drive that. So we'll figure out who one of these is going to go to here, and get that sent off too. So you probably see it on one of the other YouTube creators' channels and very shortly. So Les, thank you very much. It's a really nice gift. Les has a farm up in Canada, and he's an airline pilot, and he flies Boeing 777. So he's bad to the bone, man. Cool dude. Okay, thanks, Les. Okay, so this next one here, this comes to us from my buddy John Marcus from PTC Instruments. So John has a company in Southern California, and they make all kinds of temperature and hardness measuring equipment, and they calibrate and they build this stuff in-house. So it's kind of a family business. Most of their employees have been there for 30 years or whatever, and they've been making these. I think I showed a durometer, and now we're going to show some of their other products here. So let's look at these little guys first. These are pretty cool. So these are surface mount thermometers here. We got two styles here, and John dropped off a couple of these to play around with, which is kind of neat. So this one's neat. It's got magnets on the back. I don't have anything steel real handy. Anyway, it's got a magnet, so you can stick that on inside a refrigerator, or somewhere where you want to monitor temperature. Pretty cool, actually. It's very nice, and you can see the temp in here, and this is in Fahrenheit for all our metric folks. And now this one here is a little different. This one here has a flat back and no magnet. So you use a little, you can bond this or use a little conductive grease on the back to stick it to something to measure the temperature of a surface. So this is probably a little quicker reading than this one here, and this one actually has a larger range too. Larger range? Yeah, 0 to 250, and this one is 70 to 370. So anyway, two different styles there of surface mount thermometers. John, thank you. Those are very cool. And oops, did I break it? Okay, no, I think it's okay. Oop. Okay, it's not broken, but it could be easily broken. Okay, there it goes. All right, stay. All right, and then the magnetic one. So, okay, John, thank you. Those are cool. Now this guy here, this is pretty sweet here, and once again, this stuff just shows up in kind of pairs. So this is a hardness tester here, and this is one that PTC Instruments makes. Okay, and they got their little logo, and this is the little test block here. And I think John said this is made out of O1 tool steel, and they heat treat them and grind them, and then check them. But this is kind of a portable hardness tester here. It's pretty neat. It has a calibrated automatic center punch here with a little penetrator in the tip. And what you do is you make a little dinkus like that. Okay, you can probably see that that little dink right there. And then what this is it's a little illuminated. I'll turn that on. You can see there's a little light coming out. Okay, so it's an illuminated microscope that has a reticle in it that is calibrated in Rockwell C. So by measuring the diameter of that and comparing it to the scale, you can get a hardness reading. And so we played around with it and checked it, and it actually works really good. I happen to have a couple of test blocks, and we checked my old test blocks and then checked this block here, and you get a pretty good reading. So, and what's nice is it's a portable little unit here, and you can take it out in the field. You don't have this big giant thing that sits on the bench that you don't use very often. This you can put in the drawer, and what am I missing there? I don't know. What am I missing there? I don't think there was anything in there. There wasn't a wrench or anything like that. So anyway, so it's kind of neat, John. Thank you very much. That's a really cool gift, and it's just the kind of stuff I like. Is a cleverly engineered little thing like this that works really good. Now, I do a similar thing with an automatic center punch to check the relative hardness of aluminum that I find. So you can differentiate, if you have known samples, you can differentiate between different grades of aluminum by their hardness by using an automatic center punch. But so this is a kind of an extension of that print. Well, they did it first. I wasn't the first to do that. So John, thank you. That's a really cool gift. I appreciate it, my friend. And we got more to show from John. So he loaned me another tool that we're going to check out here in a minute. So, all right. So my buddy John Marcus down from PTC Instruments down in Los Angeles, he had one of these Greenfield 22s, and I asked him to bring it up with him since I've never, I don't have one myself, and this belongs to John. I think actually Stan thought that John gave this to me, but no, this belongs to John Marcus. He just loaned it to me. And the reason he loaned it to me is I wanted to do a solid model of this and take measurements of it and whatnot. I have an idea for something along these lines here. So he brought it up, and I'll mail this back to him. But Adam's always barking about his big tap wrench collection, right? And this is the big kahuna of tap wrenches in the world of tap wrenches. But I was actually kind of disappointed and that it doesn't fit my big tap here. And in fact, I have several taps now that this thing doesn't fit, so I really need a bigger one. Okay, and what is that? That is that's like 1 5/8 square there, and this little monkey doesn't go on. So I'm like, what the heck, right? So am I relegated to using a big crescent wrench on that? And that's a 2 5/8 4. And I'm going to show you a couple other taps that it doesn't fit also. So I'm on the hunt for an even bigger one here that can take, well, let's get these other taps over here, and then we'll get an idea of what kind of tap wrench that we're looking for here. So let me go snag those. Okay, so now it does fit this next tap, and this is a little pipsqueak. A little pipsqueak tap here. So this one actually does fit this, so that'll work on that one, no problem. And but I have another one that it doesn't fit as well. So let me get that one. So it certainly doesn't fit this one here. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I tap 3" 3 Acme, I don't know, a couple times a week. So I need a tap wrench is what it looks like here. So I can't buy one, so I'll probably have to make one and to drive this tap here. So now there's a whole story with these taps too, and you guys will get a kick out of it. So another YouTube viewer came by on Sunday, and his name is Adam, and he has actually not Adam Booth, but another Adam that's local here. He has a shop less than, I don't know, a couple miles from mine, and he does metal sculpture, and he invited me over to his shop, and he's got a giant junk pile, and he's getting rid of a bunch of stuff, and he said, "Oh, help yourself." And I said, "You're kidding, right?" And so who can resist a 3" 3 Acme tap? I mean, come on, right? So Adam, thank you very much. That's pretty awesome. I really appreciate that. You got showing me your shop and then sharing some of your scrap pile with me. That's pretty cool. So just kind of neat to see stuff like this. This thing, this thing weighs 40 pounds. It's gigantic. So this one has a 2" square on it. The body is 2.5 here, and it's probably around 3" right there. So and this one's dinked up here. It looks like they tried to resharpen it, and then said, nope, you got to buy a new one. So. So anyway, Adam, thank you very much. John at PTC, thank you also for loaning me the tap wrench. I'll get that in the mail back to you very shortly. So thanks, guys. All right. So this next one here, this thing's pretty awesome here. This comes to us from Morgan Manufacturing, and a viewer that works for Morgan, Max Marzewski. He emailed me and said that he wanted to come to, what's missing there? Oh, I bet you that's that, yeah, okay. Wanted to come and visit the shop, and wanted to know if I was up for a little bit of horse trading, and so the answer to that is always yes. So anyway, he brought this down, and this is something that Morgan, this is the Morgan Knocker. Some of the auto body guys may be familiar with this. This is, I think, a fairly well-known, tool in the auto body industry. So it's got all these pullers and hooks and things. But anyway, Morgan Manufacturing is in Petaluma, California, and they've been making this for years. And every part on here is made there at Morgan. And Max works there and builds these things, and it does production. They have punch presses where they cut and bend all this stuff. I think they do their own painting. I think they drive their own nails up there. They do everything. Made in the U.S. materials. It's an old school company, so it's great. So if you need one of these, check out Morgan Manufacturing. Put up well, this thing's zip tied down. I'm not going to pull it off just yet. Zip tied to the board. Now this is a display board, so you can hang it on the wall. So if I can find a good place in the shop, I'll hang that up. Or I could put it in this cool metal box that he sent along with it. So Max does machine work, and I traded a couple of precision tools for him, or to him, for this. So he was happy, and I was happy because this is a cool set here. Now, some of you may have seen this, what's in the bag here, and we're going to show that in a sec. But one of the things, and Max pointed this out, this particular fitting here, this fits the handle of a pair of ice grips. In fact, let me just grab one real quick because I'm not too far away. Okay. So the idea there is that you can plop that in there like that, and now you can pull on a pair of ice grips. So that's a cool way to do that. Anyway, so there's that, and a bunch of hooks, the deadly screw point, side handle, and it has the accessory knocker, the custom. Politically incorrect knocker that replaces this handle here. So Max, thank you very much. That was fun horse trading there, and check out morganmanufacturing.com and see what other things that they have on their website. So thank you very much, Max. Okay, so this next thing here, you see this has got a LB on it here. And we got another one, got an LB on it, okay, and we got a third one that's got an LB on it, and this one looks like it was a counterweight for something. So these come to us from Larry Bastianon, and he's up in near Petaluma, Windsor, California, and he stopped by a scrapyard before he came over to the open house, and he brought me some unknown steel here, and so he was asking me what kind of steel this was, and I'm like, okay, I don't know. It kind of looks like hot rolled, but if you look at the scale on this, it's got a I would call it a bluish green tint to it. Here's another piece as kind of an example there. So you get an idea. It's a little bit different looking scale there. We see this with some alloy steels. The scale looks a little different. But I have no idea what these are. And I said, well, I can turn a little bit, and then maybe we can get a better idea what these are. I suspect they're just kind of plain hot roll, but don't know. So let's do a little turning here, and we'll get some idea. It will give us some idea of what we might be dealing with. All right, let's get these out of the way. Okay, so let's see, 15, yeah, that'll work. So I just got a CNMG here insert. This is a negative geometry insert. This is one of Adam's favorites. The edges are square so they can be molded, so you get 4 cutting edges off of it. It's a good kind of all-around insert. It's durable because it's a negative geometry, but it puts more pressure into the work if you have delicate work. Okay, so let's fire up the old yam here and see what we got here. All right, feeding the wrong direction. Let's try a faster feed there. Okay. So what I want to look at is kind of chip formation, things like that. All right. Well, no great relevation there. Chips are nice and blue. They're kind of longish. I'm still sticking with my my first guess, which is this kind of plain hot rolled. Looking at the length of the chips and how tight the curls are. But all right, let's try a little deeper depth of cut and see what that gives us any indicators there. Coming off of there nice and hot. And this is a dangerous chip right here. Is that in the frame? Even no, that's not even in the frame. Okay, pop that off. Yeah, these are pretty warm still. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just go with hot rolled on this. So right now it's kind of an unknown steel, but hey, you know, I'm not gonna kick it out of bed for eating crackers. Let's put it that way. So Larry, thanks. I think it's just a chunk of hot roll, but you know, that could turn into who knows what around here. So that'll go in the inventory as a unknown steel, but I think it's hot rolled. Let's try one of these other ones. Yeah, let's do this one since it's already been whacked on. I'll try this one here. Well, it's a smaller diameter, and I'm using the same feed rate and the same revolutions per minute, but the chips are actually better. Let's take a look at them here. Shovel some up. You can kind of see them. They're shorter. They're breaking off nicer here. You know, not long and stringy like the other, but some of that's related to the cutting speed. So the cutting speed was higher on this diameter here because it's larger, so. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Still thinking hot rolled on all this stuff, so I think that's about as far as I'm going to go on this. And Larry, thanks for the material, appreciate it. He's always poking around these scrap yards and keeping his eye peeled for anything useful. So there he is, LB, Larry Bastianon. Thanks, Larry. Okay, so this next one here, this was a gift from our Southern California contingent. Stan Zinkowski of Shaden HKW. He's a fellow YouTube creator. Anyway, he bought this off Craigslist, I think, for basically a song, and decided he didn't have time to play around with it, so he sent it my. Oh, look at that! I didn't even notice that before. It's got a protective little sleeve that goes on there. It goes up and down with it. Huh. Yeah, I'm discovering new stuff about this all the time here. Anyway, what it is it's a Rockwell hardness tester, and it does standard, superficial, and then what's that, major load one too. So it's missing a couple pieces. So, but what's interesting is that it came with and I'll show this in a minute. It came with basically a cross section of it that shows the weights and how they're supported and all that. So the project here ultimately is to create a set of weights, a hanger, and a pivot. It's not a lot of work, but it's fairly fussy, and then get this calibrated so that it reads correctly. So so this will become a little YouTube project. See, it goes up like so. So I have a diamond, I have hardness standards for it, and I have somebody that I know in the industry that can probably help me with the calibration. And in fact, he was here for, oops, sorry about that. He was here for the open house. So Stan dropped this off, and then shortly thereafter, my friend John Marcus down in Southern California sent this book, and Hardness Theory and Practice, written by a gentleman named Lewis Small. Okay, and John sent a note, and he says, "Hey, here's a book written by the guy that made your tester." And if we swing this around, like so here, maybe you guys can read that. It's all scale, standard, superficial Rockwell testing made by Lewis Small. And what's really cool is in this book, there's some cross sections, some different cross sections that show the internal workings and whatnot in this book. So I think I'm pretty set on documentation. Now, if any viewer out there happens to have this particular model, they could probably save me a lot of work if they measured their weights that are inside the housing here. They're basically cylindrical weights, and they're marked, and they hang on a rod inside. But that might spoil the fun. So anyway, so this is going to be a project here, and we'll get this going again and try it out and do some hardness testing. So Stan, thanks for the cool gift. This is kind of a neat instrument. And John, thank you for the book. And you guys will be seeing this in future videos, so check it out. Okay, so this last one I want to show here, I actually bought these. These are from a guy in Texas, and his initials are JR, and it's John Rigoni. And I bumped into him on Instagram, actually. He's a blacksmith in Texas, and he showed some of these on his little Instagram page there, and I said, "Oh wow, they're just a nice shape," and I want to support the guy, so I mailed him a few bucks, and he sent me a couple of these. So they're made out of steel. They're just wonderful. They got I don't know what kind of finish he's got on it, if that's an oiled finish or what, but they feel great. And I think you guys know what these are for, right? They're for opening bottles. And it looks like, I don't want to open this one, but it looks like they will work just adequately, quite nice. Anyway, I think he gets $15 a piece for these, and it helps pay his expenses in there. And I don't think he has a website, so you got to go find him on Instagram, John Rigoni Ironworks. And if you want to support his craft, then buy a couple bottle openers. They're pretty cool. I bought a couple because, not so much that I use them, but these are just wonderful handmade gifts that you can give somebody that is maybe a beer enthusiast or opens a lot of bottles for some reason. So anyway, John, thank you. That's a very nice product, and I'm going to enjoy these. So thank you, sir. Okay, so these next ones here come to us from England, Dagenham, Essex, UK, and these are from, Bill Robley and his partner Tracy Annison, otherwise known as Scorch, which is kind of a cool handle there. And I sent Bill some stickers over there in the UK, and he bought a t-shirt and some other stuff, so I sent him some stickers, and they reciprocated with these nice gifts here. Now this is leather, and that's been branded basically with the logo, which is pretty cool. And so that's a nice bookmark there. And then here's a little key ring, which is kind of neat, and it's made out of wood. These are non-traditional materials for me, so anyway, they're very nice, and they did a great job on the logo. So if you're interested in having some custom, actually this one's better here, custom gifts made that are branded into materials, and maybe you can contact Tracy and get something made. So pretty cool. Bill and Tracy, thank you very much. Those are nice gifts. Always cool to have the logo on something unique like that. I appreciate it. Thank you.